Welcome to the Lowcountry Report. I'm Allie McNair. Although schools start on Monday in Beaufort County, recently it was graduation day for 23 young people on Hilton Head Island. We'll find out about a summer program that helps students with their reading and math. Also ahead, the chairman of Beaufort County's Board of Education, Fred Washington, joins us in the studio. But first, these headlines. If you are one of the 8,000 people in Beaufort County who hasn't paid your outstanding property taxes, you can get a break on late fees if you pay your property taxes during a specific 2-week period of time. That's because this week, Beaufort County Treasurer Doug Henderson announced an amnesty program in which late fees will be forgiven. The outstanding taxes must be paid in full between August 22nd and September 2nd. The break on late fees includes real estate, mobile homes and boats, any property except cars, which are taxed by the Department of Motor Vehicles. For more on this story, go to islandpacket.com. South Carolina's tourism industry is bouncing back from the recession. Numbers released by the State Department of Parks, Recreation and Tourism this week show that airplane travel to the state was up 14% from January through May this year when compared to last year. Revenue per available hotel rooms was up almost 8% between January and June, and accommodations tax revenues from the last fiscal year were $44 million. That's an increase of more than 11%. The conservative web and blog site redstate.com is holding a gathering in South Carolina this weekend. Several of the state's leading Republicans will be there. Governor Nikki Haley, U.S. Senator Jim DeMint, and U.S. Representative Tim Scott will attend the two-day meeting, which gets underway on Friday. On Saturday, Texas Governor Rick Perry will be there. News outlets are indicating that Governor Perry will announce his run for the Republican presidential nomination while he is here in Charleston, South Carolina. Well, South Carolina Representative James Clyburn says he hopes that his appointment to Congress's Debt Reduction Supercommittee will enable him to ensure tax loopholes are closed, waste is found, and cuts to military spending are considered. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi announced Clyburn's appointment on Thursday. The Supercommittee has an equal number of Democrats and Republicans from the House and Senate. Clyburn says the panel must also look at budget fraud and abuse. Protesters gathered outside of U.S. Representative Joe Wilson's office in Beaufort on Wednesday to join a nationwide effort in demanding a congressional response to what they see as a mounting job crisis. About 30 people stood outside the Republicans' office as part of the Where Are the Jobs protest. The local event was organized by the Lowcountry American Dream Council, which is a chapter of a national group created by MoveOn.org in response to the Tea Party movement. Well, if you're interested in a job as an assembler or fabricator with Boeing in North Charleston, you can apply beginning at midnight on Friday, August 12th. That's when you can apply online through ReadySC, the state-run program that trains potential Boeing employees. If you'd like to apply, you'll have to do so quickly, as ReadySC will stop accepting applications after they reach their quota of 3,000. Now, to apply, you can go to jobapps.com/SCAT. Prosecutors say they won't charge the Columbia father of a 9-month-old boy who died from the heat after being left unattended in a car on Father's Day. Columbia police say Jaden Davis was closed in a car for 3 to 4 hours on June 19th when the temperature outside reached 92 degrees. In a joint news release from Columbia Police and the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office, the Solicitor's Office concluded that there was insufficient evidence to charge the father or others with a criminal act. According to KidsInCars.org, nationally, an average of 38 children die each year after being left alone in cars. Most of those children are 3 years of age or younger. Sunday, September 11th, marks the 10th year since the terrorist attacks on American soil. Thousands are expected at a memorial service planned by the city of Beaufort and local churches. Some churches will reschedule their regular services so their members can attend the event, which will be held Sunday, the 11th of September at Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park. For details on that service, go to islandpacket.com. Well, this summer, in addition to having fun, 23 students spent some of their time away from school learning math and reading. It's a program that's a partnership amongst the Neighborhood Outreach Connection, the Beaufort County School District, and parents. Sunday was a special day at the Oaks. It was graduation day for 23 students enrolled in the summer virtual learning program run by Neighborhood Outreach Connection. From mid-June through August 5th, students have gone to class Monday through Friday from 10 to 11:30 in the morning. They've spent 45 minutes on reading and 45 minutes on math each day. Dr. Narendra Sharma is chair of Neighborhood Outreach Connection.
What these kids need is some reinforcement during the periods when they're not in school. A lot of them don't have any computers or internet connection, and so they need some sort of a help. And a lot of them are self-sufficient in the sense if you give them internet-based learning platforms, they can do well.
Well, I learned a lot more math, and my favorite subject is actually math. And I really love adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And this program, Compass Learning and NLC, helped me a lot.
Because reading only helped a little, so it helped me a lot.
It helped you do some reading?
Yeah.
Do you think you might do some more reading now?
Yeah.
By empowering and increasing the level of education, we do increase these children's ability to move on past high school, to have successful futures, to be members of their community in all aspects. And it begins right here in elementary school and in the middle school programs that we're providing through the Neighborhood Outreach Connection.
Oscar Cardosa's son has been attending the summer program. It's through an education, Oscar says, that his son will be able to have a good future, a good life with a good job. He's appreciative of the opportunity his son has had with Neighborhood Outreach Connection.
Thank you. Thank you, NC. Thank you, the school. Thank you, everyone. Say, God bless you, America.
While it's a happy day for these 23 students and their families, a total of 100 families applied to have their children attend NOC's program. Due to a lack of additional computers, space, and volunteers, 77 young people had to be turned away. Still, Dr. Sharma hopes to grow this summer program in the future and provide an opportunity for every young person to learn. The reasons are many.
Our minority kids now have become majority in public schools, and many of these kids are not meeting school standards. That's one reason. So I think, if we can help, these kids can perform better, they can stay in school, graduate on time, and it also means we have the right skills and knowledge entering our workforce, which will impact our local economy more positively. So the reasons are very compelling, and I think this is one reason why the partnership with the schools and the parents is so critical, because the schools need help.
Neighborhood Outreach Connection also ran its program where a total of 19 students attended in Bluffton. We'll find out more about Neighborhood Outreach Connection with Dr. Narendra Sharma when he joins me here in the studio in a few minutes.
This weather report brought to you by Beaufort Memorial Bluffton Medical Services, offering Beaufort Memorial's quality care close to home.
On Saturday, it will be partly sunny with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 88, a low of 79. On Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thundershowers, a high of 90, a low of 78. On Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 90 and a low of 78. And on Tuesday, sunny skies, a high of 86, a low of 75. When we come back, we'll learn more about Neighborhood Outreach Connection's summer program to help young people learn. Dr. Sharma is next. As we showed you earlier, 23 young people had the opportunity to work on their math and reading skills this summer thanks to a partnership with Neighborhood Outreach Connection, the Beaufort County School District, and parents. Earlier this week, I had a chance to talk with Dr. Narendra Sharma, chairman of Neighborhood Outreach Connection. The program that we highlighted on Hilton Head Island, you also ran this in Bluffton this summer, correct?
Yes, we had a similar program in Bluffton, at Bluffton House, with similar setup.
What's interesting to me is that this is all done with computers, with, you would call it a platform learning situation. Do we know that that's effective for these young people?
Yes, the software is called Compass Learning, and the schools have used this not here only in Beaufort, but throughout the country, in a lot of other states. And indeed, results that they have shows that positive outcomes can be achieved. And children do well both in language art and in math.
Is there a way that you measure the improvement over time when a youngster goes through this program, or will it be from hearing from the school district itself or from the class or the teacher that they have improved?
Yes, this is an important question. Right from the outset, we wanted to focus on the outcomes and the results. So in our partnership agreement with the schools, we made sure that we did spell out a clearly defined monitoring framework, and also defining the benchmark, meaning the outcomes. And what we have sort of compromised or agreed on was to use the benchmarks that the schools have. In other words, they have the MAP scores, PAS scores. That's what we will be monitoring. During fall period, the kids will be taking that exam, and later during the year they'll take the PAS exam. So those results will give us some indication of how the kids are doing. But in the short run, what we do is we monitor what the kids have been doing, say over the last 6 to 8 weeks. And there the results are showing indeed some of the kids have made progress in terms of the lessons that they cover. And each time they move from one lesson to another lesson, whether it's in language, art, or math, obviously they have to master those skills. So I think, one can look at that. I think anecdotal evidence also shows to us that kids have improved their reading, their comprehension ability, and also they've made headway in math as well.
Who's eligible for this program, Dr. Sharma?
What we are trying to do is we're targeting neighborhoods, particularly neighborhoods where families are somewhat under hardship because of current economic conditions. I hate to use the word poverty, but also families where the support at the household might be minimal because of language barriers, or there are a lot of single mothers. So those are the kids that we are trying to target. And obviously in a neighborhood, typically we will find Hispanics, white kids, and African American kids as well. These are the kids that don't have computers, they are disconnected, not having access to the internet. I call them refugees, digital refugees in the neighborhoods.
I mean, what a disadvantage for a young person who doesn't have access to the internet or a computer as far as learning goes versus a young person who does. It's just, I would think, you're an economist in your other life, so you know the importance of people having skills when they go out into the workplace, but having that access is crucial.
Oh, very much so. And this is clear too, because on the average, a child spends 6 hours, 180 days in school. So the remaining time, what is it that they do? So if they don't have access to internet-based learning or computers, they will be hard-pressed to master those skills, to keep those skills, so that indeed they can make headway. We know, the schools have told us, that if the kids don't go to summer school or get support during the summer months, they lose 2.5 months of the academic year. I mean, that's pretty significant. That's one reason why some of our public schools are showing that a good number of our kids are not meeting school standards. And that's one reason why dropout rates are high. Kids don't stay in school. So obviously, I think during this period when kids are not in school, we need to find channels and avenues so that indeed kids have opportunities, they can keep up with their skills, don't fall behind, and those kids who are doing well, they can sort of accelerate.
Well, Dr. Sharma, we are glad that Neighborhood Outreach Connection is here in Hilton Head and in Bluffton. I know there were at least 77 children that also would have liked to have taken part in this. Due to lack of resources, you weren't able to provide space for them. If people want to find out how they can help, you have a website?
Yes, indeed, we have a website, www.noc-sc.org.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Dr. Sharma, and thanks for all the work that you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
One of those in attendance at the NOC graduation was the chairman of the Beaufort County Board of Education, Fred Washington. We'll hear from him next on the Lowcountry Report. Stay with us. Recently, Neighborhood Outreach Connection held a graduation at the Oaks on Hilton Head Island. There was a summer program where young people who were low income were allowed to come in, work on a computer for an hour and a half each day, platform learning format, where they worked on math and reading. One of those in attendance at that graduation was the Beaufort County Chairman of the Board of Education, Fred Washington. He joins me now here on the Lowcountry Report. It's great to have you on, Chairman Washington.
It's great to be back.
Well, this was an impressive program. According to Dr. Sharma, who works with Neighborhood Outreach Connection, we will see measurable results from the work that has been done this summer. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
How important is a program like this? This is really a partnership between Beaufort County Schools, Neighborhood Outreach Connection, and also the parents of these young children.
It's this kind of partnership that goes that we need to have more of. And it's also the sponsors, the other sponsors that are involved, and I'm certain that there are corporate sponsors and other businesses that help support Dr. Sharma in this effort. We need to make sure that at the home level, the after-school level, that whatever we're doing in school is reinforced in that environment. Now, this happened to have occurred during the summer. We know that research has shown that if students take a summer break, that there's educational loss that occurs during the summer. One of the things this program does is to ensure that that loss doesn't occur. Plus, it's helped building the foundation, the strength of these students in an academic vein. We need more of that kind of effort, and this effort is one that I'm positive will show positive outcomes.
I want to ask for your reaction to this. I don't know if many people would know this, that over 100 families applied for this program at the Oaks, and due to the limitation of how many computers they had, and the space, I mean, they literally set up in 2 apartment rooms there at the Oaks. They had to turn, that means 77 children away from this opportunity. When you hear that, what's your reaction, and does it serve as a challenge to you and others to maybe see that we give these children the opportunities that they deserve?
I think this becomes truly a community challenge. It's just not the school district. Everyone's involved. It takes the entire community to help promote good, positive learning in our school system. We can do dynamic things in school, but certain things have to also be reinforced at home and in other community settings, particularly those who are challenged with less resources. So yes, this is positive. We need to continue to find other means of partnering with other persons who can develop this and other successful models. There's no one way to solve all the problems or one method that's going to work. But when we find something positive, we have to find those connections, those partnerships, those persons willing to invest in positive outcomes and removing the achievement gaps that we have.
Let's talk about the achievement gap, if we may. I know that's one that Beaufort County Board of Education has looked at specifically, but why are so many African American and Hispanic children in public schools not meeting school standards, staying in school and graduating on time?
A lot of folks attribute this to the poverty issue or factor, and surely that is, but it comes back to a matter of values and what's instilled. There are homes of poverty that still have values that say we value education and therefore you're going to get your education, the parents, the adults in that person's life. I come from a background where my folks weren't rich, and I know of many folks during a segregated system that we lived in, people who have become doctors, lawyers, very successful business persons and contributors to society. It's the values that you hold that are important, and we've got to find ways of reinforcing in these families with the parents to give them the support to demand, to create higher expectations of their students. But it's just not a matter of expecting something. There have to be elements of support to ensure that those expectations are that we strive for those and that those students work towards those ends.
Well, what about the issue of equal access? I mean, if we look towards like the educational trend that, you know, there's an increased use of technology, how can we make sure that low-income children don't end up being left behind because they lack access to computers and access to the internet that other children might have?
Again, that's why we work with churches and we work with the public library and other community organizations to ensure that if they don't have access at home, they can at least go to those entities, that we can work together with those entities. And we do work with churches and other groups, not just Dr. Sharman's group, not just NOC, but we want to find as many partners out there who are willing to take the time to ensure that there is the digital divide does not create a problem for us.
Before I let you go, any final thought that you would like to leave us with, Chairman Washington?
That it takes the entire community to make this work, and that we have to invest. If we don't invest early, we will pay a cost on the back end that leads to crime and other social costs that we don't need to have in this community.
Well, thank you so much, Chairman Fred Washington with the Beaufort County Board of Education. We appreciate your time here on the Lowcountry Report.
Thank you.
Our pet of the week is Kodiak. Kodiak is a young golden retriever mix and would make a great pet for almost any family. To learn more, call the Hilton Head Humane Association at 843-681-8686 or go to hhhumane.org. That's it for this edition of the Lowcountry Report. I'm Allie McNair. We'll see you the next time.